What's up guys, TopTierYugioh here. Today I have another ABC combo for you guys. This one's going to be using Dragonic Diagram in the True Draco engine. And so True Draco ABC is one of the most popular and probably one of the best variants of ABC in this current format. Calvin Dahan topped the UDS with it, and many other people around the country have been topping with True Draco ABCs. And so I want to give you guys some of the combos that they use to prepare you for playing the deck, and I want to give you some of the pros and cons of playing it, and really why you should be playing this, and how it gets so much better in the future. And so let's go ahead and get into this first combo. Alright, so for this first combo, all you're going to need is one diagram, one hanger, and then any ABC piece. Doesn't matter what you're starting off with, but the combo works the same in any case, and you're going to be able to summon a Buster Dragon. And so there are different scenarios depending on what you draw, and yet there are a couple of different ending boards. Like you can also summon some Link monsters with your Buster Dragon, or you can make a rank 4 first, but we'll get to that as we go through the combo, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so for this combo, let's assume we're starting with A, so we have hanger, diagram, and A. And as always, we're going to start first by activating our union hanger, and then with the union hanger, we're going to search either A or B. In this case, since we already have A, it doesn't quite matter, but the next important step is to normal summon either A or B and equip a C to it. And so for the sake of this combo, let's search a B, for example. And then we're going to normal summon the B, activate hanger's effect, and we're going to equip a C to it. Next, we're going to activate our Dragonic Diagram. And now we're going to use Diagram's effect, and we're going to destroy the C to search a True Draco card. And so C is going to be destroyed. And now we're assuming we don't have any other True Draco cards in hand, and so there's not really much that's useful to search. But we're just going to search what maybe will get us there later. So let's go ahead and search a Masterpiece. He looks really cool. He is very strong, of course. But that's not what's important right now. So the important thing is that because we destroy C, the effect will trigger, allowing us to special summon an A from our hand that we already had. So now we have A and B on the field, we have C in the graveyard, and we have the ability to summon our Buster Dragon. And so this is where the play gets a little bit interesting. And so we have options pretty much. And so the first option is probably the worst option, but this is what you can do pre-circuit break, or what you could do if you don't have any of the other ones, or if you're going first. But you could just banish these from the field and C from the graveyard, and you could just summon your Buster Dragon like that. Like that's one option. It's probably the worst one, but you could do it. But let's not do that actually. Now if you're going second, a really good option would be to overlay both of these, and then go into a Diamond Direwolf. And then you could clear one of your opponent's back row, or you could destroy one of their monsters or something. And so Diamond Direwolf is a really good option because it clears itself from your extra monster zone. And so that's a pretty good option. So you would use the effect, and then banish all three from the graveyard, and summon your Buster Dragon. However, now that Circuit Break is going to be legal very soon, there's a really good option that I think is better than both of those. And that option is to link with both of these. Not for a Link Spider, but because we have two monsters that have the same type, we can link both of these for an Akashic Magician. And I actually don't have one yet, so we're going to proxy it, but you link it for an Akashic Magician, it requires two monsters of different types. I think it has pretty decent attack, and the effect is that when it's summoned, you return all monsters that it points to the hand. That's mandatory. So if your opponent messed up by summoning something in front of one of the extra monster zones, you could return that to their hand, or if they have like a Decode Talker, the effect doesn't target, so you could bounce their Decode Talker back to their hand. And it has links that point up and down. So that's very, very important. And then the other effect comes up when it's co-linked, which can come up in later combos, or not in later combos today, but in different combos you can use that effect, and it excavates from the top of the deck to the graveyard, which is useful sometimes for milling your ABC pieces. But the important thing for this one is because we linked with an A and a B, we can use B's effect to search something to discard for Buster Dragon. And so we can search just any other ABC piece, doesn't really matter, but then we can banish our three pieces from the graveyard and summon our Buster Dragon. And so this is really cool because summoning it in your extra monster zone is kind of usually bad because it stops you from making any other extra deck plays. But being able to summon Buster in your main monster zone really opens the door for what you can do on your next turn if they can't clear your board, or really just some of the other plays that you can do, because you're always open to be able to make not a Link Spider, but a Proxy Dragon under the Akashic Magician, or any other Link monster that opens up more zones in your main monster zone. So it's a very valuable combo, and I think it does help the deck a lot. So let me know what you think about this combo down in the comment section below. If you liked it, please like this video. But let's move on to the next combo, and this next one is going to be a lot better, as we're going to be able to summon our Buster Dragon and Masterpiece together at the same time. So this next combo is going to be insane. Alright, so for this combo, all we need is one hanger, one diagram, and then either any True Draco spell in Masterpiece, or really any monster works. But of course you'd prefer to summon Masterpiece. But either the spell or Masterpiece, it doesn't matter which one we're starting with, because diagram is going to search the other one. And we're going to be able to end on Buster Dragon plus Masterpiece. So very, very powerful combo indeed. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so for the sake of the combo, let's say we started off with hanger, diagram, and Masterpiece. And so the first step is going to be activating our hanger, and then using hanger to search a C. And then we're going to normal summon the C, using the effect to equip, or the effect of hanger that is, to equip a B to your C. Next, you're going to activate your diagram. And then you're going to use diagram's effect to destroy B to search whatever you were missing. And so in this case, we started off with a Masterpiece. And so we're going to want to search a spell card, which in this case I'll search True Draco Heritage. But if we started with True Draco Heritage or another spell, then you would just search Masterpiece instead. But because B was destroyed, we're also going to be able to search the missing ABC piece, which is the A. So now what we're going to do is we're going to activate our True Draco Heritage, or Disciples of course, any spell card works. And then we're going to use the Tribute Summon effect. And well, if you're playing against a mirror match or against True Dracos, you could also use the Draw effect first, which is very, very, very good. But we're assuming you're going first and you can't do that, so we're just going to use the Tribute Summon effect to tribute itself, and the C to tribute summon Masterpiece. And now because C was sent to the graveyard, we're going to be able to use the effect to special summon an A. And so now in our graveyard, we should have a, let's see, hanger, B, C, and Heritage. And so we can banish B and C from the graveyard, as well as A from the field to summon our Buster Dragon. And so that is how we end with a board of Masterpiece and Buster Dragon. And the other cool thing is if you're going second, this will also destroy one of your opponent's back row. And then this also in the graveyard, so we do have fodder for Masterpiece. The effect is live. And of course this is only a 3-card combo, so you have 2 other cards in hand, so Buster is also live. So it's a very good combo. You have 2 disruptions, 2 very, very strong monsters, probably the top 2 monsters of the format, or for the past couple of formats really. I mean, these 2 are insanely strong. And so if you're playing Draco ABC, this is something that you need to remember, and if you didn't know it, this is why you play Draco ABC. And so I've got one more combo for you guys. It's very similar. You're also going to be able to end on Masterpiece Buster Dragon, but it's slightly different. And so let's go ahead and do that combo. Alright, so for this combo, all we're going to need is one hanger, one diagram, and then one other copy of diagram, or set rotation, or terraforming, or anything that searches diagram. And so this combo is going to be very similar to the last one. It's going to end in the same board. And the cool thing is that diagram is not once per turn. And so we're going to be able to use it multiple times. And so let's go ahead and start this combo up. Same way as before, we're going to start by activating hanger and using that to search a C. We're going to normal summon the C, use the hanger effect to equip a B. So it's very similar to before, except we have a second diagram now. And so now we're going to activate diagram, and then use diagram's effect. We're going to destroy the B, and then that's going to search one of our 2 Draco cards, either the spell or the monster. Doesn't really matter which one we do. And then next, B will trigger, allowing us to search the missing ABC piece, which in this case is A. Next, we're going to activate our terraforming second diagram, or any other form of diagram, whatever it may be. So let's just do that for simplicity's sake. And then what we're going to do this time is actually use diagrams to destroy the A that's in our hand. Or we can destroy C actually. Either one works. So if you destroy C, you'll summon the A. If you destroy A, well, it does what it's supposed to do. So for the sake of this combo, we'll just destroy the A in the hand, and that's going to search us the spell. So now same as before, we're going to activate the spell. If you can use the draw effect, then you're going to do it. But if you can't use the draw effect, that's okay too. We're going to use the tribute summon effect to tribute the spell in the C to summon our Masterpiece. And now, because in our graveyard we have A, B, and C, and Heritage, and also, whatever we search the diagram with and hanger, we're going to be able to banish our 3 ABC pieces for a Buster Dragon. We have a continuous spell card for a Masterpiece, so we're good. We're in a very good position here. And so again, we have Buster Dragon and Masterpiece. Both are live, both are powerful. This is probably going to win you the game. Alright, so now let's talk about some of the pros and cons of playing Draco ABC, or just splashing the True Draco engine in your ABC deck, because you could really just play 3 diagrams, 1 Masterpiece, 1 Heritage, and that would be, enough. Like, that would get you there in a lot of cases. But I want to talk about why this engine is so good, talk about some of the pros as well as some of the cons. And so The most important thing and the main thing that stuck out to me was your ability to play set rotation. And so one of the biggest issues in any ABC deck is your ability to see hanger. Like you need hanger to play. If you don't see hanger, it's going to be very hard to really win the game. And so set rotation, you can't normally play unless you're playing another field spell. So this gives you a perfect excuse to play set rotation, and then both your field spells are good. So it makes it sort of good in multiples, because another thing was like if you drew open 2 terraformings or terraforming and hanger, if you're only playing hanger, then you have a dead card in your hand. But in this deck, because you do have another field spell that you can actually use, then you can turn your extra dead cards into like masterpieces, which is insane. And so it makes the deck more consistent by being able to play set rotation, but it also gets a lot more value out of some of the cards that would mess up your hand, such as multiple hangers and multiple terraformings. And so the boost to consistency is very, very obvious and very, very important. The next thing that sticks out to me is the ability to play Masterpiece. And Masterpiece is one of the best cards in the game right now. It's one of the single-handed best monsters. And Buster Dragon's really up there on that list too. And so being able to play 2 of the best monsters opposed to just 1 really makes the deck so much stronger, and it helps you work out of so many situations where you would probably lose. So like you would get system down, and that would suck. But then you could summon a Masterpiece and probably still win. Or maybe your Masterpiece gets kaiju'd. Well, next turn they have to deal with a Buster Dragon too. And so it really has the best of both worlds and makes your opponent need a lot to get over your boards. The next thing, and this is something that you probably realize from the combos, is that tribute summoning does trigger the ABC's effects. So it can be very cool when you tribute summon like a C, and then you're being able to special summon something else, and then make a rank 4. Or you can tribute summon a B, get something to search to discard for the Buster Dragon that you're able to summon. And so there's so many instances where being able to tribute summon these gives you another way of being able to use their effects, because in a lot of other cases you have to like link with them or synchro with them in order to get their effects, and those require 2 monsters. But a tribute summon doesn't require 2 monsters. You just need the monster in your hand, and then like a spell or trap. And the cool thing with the traps is that you can even do that on your opponent's turn. So on your opponent's turn, you can tag out to A, B, and C, then use the trap to tribute like your C, and then that's gonna let you special summon something else out of your hand on top of summoning your Masterpiece. And so it gives you multiple disruptions, you're getting the float multiple times, and it really makes this deck so hard to beat. And so another really cool interaction in this deck is that Diagram can destroy the gadgets in hand, and the gadgets will get their graveyard effects. So if you have like Diagram, Gadget, and another gadget, or Diagram, Gadget, and then like an ABC piece, you're able to, like, for example, use Diagram. You can destroy a gold gadget, special summon a silver gadget from your deck, and then use that to special summon an A from your hand, for example. That's going to let you go into a link monster or a rank 4 without even using your normal summon. So it's very good for getting plays through without using any of your tempo. So it's really good if you needed to like make a Tornado Dragon to clear your opponent's back row, and then tribute the Tornado Dragon for like a true Draco monster, which is actually insane. Or you can make like a Gear X to search maybe the missing piece. You can search a Direwolf to do something similar to Tornado Dragon, clear your opponent's board, and then do something afterwards. Or, if you didn't quite draw very well, you can make a Tsukuyomi and then draw into like a second Diagram, or maybe draw into Hanger, and maybe draw into whatever you need. Now the important thing with this is that you don't want to search like Masterpiece with the first Diagram. If you do, you'd have to search like a spell or trap, but the fact that this can just get you there in your bad hands makes this deck so much more consistent, because it's like even if you don't draw Hanger, but you draw like Diagram, Gadget, and the monster, sometimes you're going to draw 2 more cards and get you there. Because you can draw this, then draw Desires, then Desires get you to Hanger, and then boom, you're back in the game. And so this is another interaction that really helps the deck be more consistent and more powerful overall, because it means that you can combine a lot of your other engines, and then it still works very, very well. Like if you're playing the Zodiac engine, for example, and if you're interested in those combos, I will put a link to that in the top right corner of the screen, but if you're playing the Zodiac engine, you could destroy a Ram and then get back like a monster, then tribute it. Or you could destroy a Bunny Blast and get back a Barrage and then use Barrage's effect. Like there are just so many different little interactions between Diagram and the other engines that it really makes this deck that much more consistent. Now, as for some downsides, the downsides of this are some of these are actually bricks. And so if you sort of put it all on paper and you count the number of bricks you play, this is technically sort of like 3 different bricks. And now they're not always bricks, because if you open a Diagram, which you play 3 of, you have 3 terraformings and 3 set rotations usually. They're not bricks because it's like these and then anything else is really good. But in the rare chance that you don't see a Diagram or can't get to one, these are bricks. And they're very, very bad bricks, like probably some of the worst bricks. Like if you brick on a Garnet, you can at least summon it or link with it. If you brick with a Zodiac monster, again, you can summon it and do something with it. But if you draw these and you can't do anything with them, like, you probably lose. Like, the game is over. And so these are very, very bad bricks. And although it's not super likely to happen, sometimes it does happen. Or sometimes you just draw like a terraforming and then one of these and like some other cards, and you probably end up choosing to play your ABC play over your True Draco play. And while that's probably correct, it still leaves you with a really, really dead True Draco card. And so you do have to keep that in mind. And now another downside really, I should say, is that while you're playing set rotation, you can also lose the set rotation. You're so much more vulnerable to it now. And so before, if you're not playing set rotation, you only have 6 field spells in your deck. So if you get locked out with a set rotation, it's not that bad. Like, you have space for other cards to make plays. But in this deck, when you get locked out of set rotation, well, you have 9 field spells that are dead in your deck, and you have at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 other cards in your deck that are dead. So it really makes about a third of your deck dead, which is a large amount of what's probably in your hand. And so set rotation becomes very, very hard to play through, and it also makes you more susceptible to hand traps. And so those are things you have to think about, because if your opponent like draws a diagram, like you're hurt. Or if they Ghost Ogre it or Ash Blossom it or anything, when you're trying to do your True Draco plays, it's going to be very hard for you to play through. If you were to compare that to like the Zodiac play, which I guess also loses the hand traps, but it doesn't lose the Droll at least. And Droll is something that every deck's going to be playing and Droll is something that every deck's going to be playing post circuit break. So that's actually very, very relevant. But anyways, I do think that the True Draco engine is the best way to play ABCs right now. I think the ability to play Masterpiece as well as Buster Dragon is definitely undervalued, but is something that will win you a lot of games. But also, while it has its negatives, it has a lot of advantages again. And so I do think this is one of the best ways to play ABC, so I would recommend all of you try it. Hopefully they don't like hit Diagram with a November ban list, but stuff like that happens, but I wouldn't count on it. But alright guys, this has been my combo video for True Draco ABCs. I do think that True Dracos are the best ways to play ABCs right now. It makes the deck so much more consistent, and the ability to play 2 of the best monsters in the game is just ridiculous. And so I think that it raises the deck ceiling, it makes it more consistent. It really does everything that you want a splashable engine to do. So I would recommend all of you guys try it out. If you're interested in seeing a deck profile for this, I will put a link to it top right corner of the screen. If you're interested in any of the combos with other extenders, such as Symphonic Warriors, Brilliant Fusion, Gadgets, Zodiac cards, Gofu, or like any of the other ones, let me know in the comment section below for what I have made videos for. I will put links to those in the top right corner of the screen as well as in the description, so check that out. If you enjoyed this video, like it, and please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And without further ado, or that's a weird phrase to say right now, but as always, I will see you in the next video. So thanks for watching.
Remember that time, those cerulean tides, sapphire, a sapphire diamond.